Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. We are here today to go over my monthly TBR for March. I can't believe we're here already. This year is flying by. February has been a really good reading month for me so far, but I'm really looking forward to some of the reads that I have planned for March. So today we are just going to talk about them, and then I will also be pulling a couple of prompts from my TBR jar, so we will do that together. Because I am such a strong mood reader and I'm also in the middle of a couple of series, I like to pre-plan out what I'm going to be reading for the next month, aside from using TBR prompts, because while I really love using a TBR jar and I just find it so fun and useful to make sure I'm going through the books that I maybe don't pick up as often, I also really want to make sure I'm focusing on the books that I do want to be reading and prioritizing. So just to give you guys a rough idea, I think at this point I'm reading about 10 books a month. So that is the number that I'm going to be using to kind of build this TBR. If we read all of them, great. If I don't get through them, that's fine too. This is just what I would like to read in this month. And I have so many good reads. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about these books and just show you what I have planned for this month. I have a feeling I'm gonna have some 5-star reads in here for sure, and I'm just really looking forward to it. So let's get started. So these are all the books that I pulled that I definitely want to prioritize reading in March. So we'll go over them and talk about them. I'm so excited to get back into a little bit more fantasy this month. February was a lot of romance and a lot of like mystery thriller vibes. So I'm definitely ready to get back into some fantasy, some sci-fi, and revisit some of the characters that I love in these series. Okay, so the first book I have is actually on my Kindle because I don't own the physical copy yet, and that is Morning Star by Pierce Brown. I am so freaking excited to read this book. This is the third book in the Red Rising trilogy, and I cannot wait to get back into the world, get back with the characters. The way that the second book ended was absolutely crazy. I can't really say too much about what I think is going to happen plot-wise since this is the third book. I will say the Red Rising series overall so far has been an absolutely phenomenal experience for both my husband and myself. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a sci-fi series that takes place on Mars. And in this society, people are separated by a caste system that's built on color. So at the very top of this chain is the gold members, and they are like physically bigger, stronger, smarter, just more developed humans. And at the very bottom of this society are the red members, and we meet a character there named Darrow. And Darrow is actually recruited by a group of rebels to infiltrate Gold Society and try and tear them down from the inside. It's an amazing story. It really is. Pierce Brown's writing style is just phenomenal. I love the messaging of his writing. I love the storytelling and just how good he is of an author and how strong of characters that he makes. I am so hooked. It is definitely one of those series that is going to stick with me for life. I'm just so excited to get back into this world, back with these characters, and see what happens. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to be picking up is one that I have just heard so much hype about, and I've heard all over Book Talk in the booktube community, and I just wanted to know what it was about to see if I would like it as much as everyone else did. This is the first book in a romantasy series, so I'm curious to see if I like it and if I'll want to be continuing it. And that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Now, I'm not too familiar what exactly happens in this book. From what I understand, there's basically a society where people either have powers or they don't, and it's illegal to be ordinary or basically not have any powers. So our main character is an ordinary, and I guess she somehow gets involved in kind of government and society in this world, and is trying to hide the fact that she doesn't have powers. Is supposed to have a little bit of like a Hunger Games kind of element to it. There's some sort of a competition that the main character has to go through. So that is all that I know so far. I don't know anything else about it, but I'm excited to read this one. So the next book that I'm going to be picking up this month, I'm so stinking excited for. This is one of my most anticipated series to get into, and that is Jade City by Fonda Lee, also known as the Greenbone Saga. This is supposed to be, I guess, like The Godfather meets high epic fantasy, and that just sounds so fun. Now, this is a trilogy, and from what I hear, as the books go, they get more intense. There is a lot of action, a lot of like battle or fight scenes, and family kind of drama. This is one of my like anticipated 5-star reads, so I'm really excited and curious to see if it is. And I just can't wait to read this book. I'm just so excited to get started on this series and see if I like it and just all that good stuff. Okay, so the next book that I will be picking up is All In. This is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 3rd book in the Naturals series, and I'm super excited to pick this book up. I really enjoyed myself reading the 1st book. I'm not finished with the 2nd book yet, but I did pick up the 3rd one so I could read this one in March and just continue on in this series. So The Naturals is a series about a group of high school students who are gifted. So those gifts are recognized, and this group of kids are recruited by the FBI in order to help solve cold case mysteries. Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing style in this book is really nice for me because it's not super fluffy. It just gets right to the point, and I really feel like every word in this series is meant to be there. It's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of effort, and I just love that because it keeps me focused. It keeps me engaged, and the characters are actually really cool and really compelling, and they all have different gifts, and it's just so cool to see. So I'm really enjoying this series so far, and I can't wait to see what happens in this 3rd book. So the next 2 books that I'm going to be talking about are from the same series, and these are such highly anticipated reads for me. So that is Daisy Hates The Great Undoing and Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. I'm really hoping they're going to be 5-star reads for me, especially Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. I just love Julian so much already, so I can't even imagine what I'm going to expect to see from him in this book. And from what I've heard, it's just phenomenal. So super excited to be picking up this one. And then for Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, this is the final book from Magnolia and BJ's perspective. And after the way that the last book left off, oh my gosh, I'm nervous and I know my heart is going to get broken by this book, but I'm just so excited to get back in touch with these characters and just see what happens. So these are 2 books that I'm reading, and I'm so freaking excited to read these and see how I like them. And the last book that I chose for myself to read this month is a highly anticipated read for me as well. I've been waiting to read this book for quite some time, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like I'm one of the last people left out there who has yet to read this book. I have read some of Taylor Jenkins Reid's other books before, and I did really like her writing style, so I'm really curious to see how this book lands for me. So from what I understand, this is supposed to be about a Hollywood actress and basically how she's ready to share her life's journey and just kind of things that have happened to her with a journalist. So that is about what I know so far, and I'm just really excited to read this book and see if it's going to be a 5-star read for me. Yeah, more to come on this, but I'm just really excited. Okay, so now that we are done talking about all the 7 books that I chose for myself to read this month, let's go ahead and pull from the TBR jar. So this is my little TBR jar. It's just this cute little like monster mug. I think I got it from like H&M, but I have all these little like cut up prompts in here. I'm gonna pull 3 prompts from here, and we will add 3 more books to my little TBR pile, and then I will have all of my 10 books for this month. Okay, starting with the first prompt. Okay, so we have, wow, okay, cool, a book that has a green cover. Well, that's really hard. Okay, so that's actually really funny that I pulled this one because I already have kind of a green cover vibe going on for this month, if you can't tell. So these are out of the question, so I'm gonna have to find something else. So let me go look for some options. You guys, I just found the most perfect book to read for this. I can't believe I missed this book at first glance because, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is my Dragonsteel edition of this book, and I love this so much. I got this as a gift from my husband for Christmas, and this is just stunning. Like this whole art, everything in this book is just gorgeous. I have heard phenomenal things about this book, so of course I definitely want to pick this up and read it. So this will be the first Brandon Sanderson book that I'll be reading, but I feel okay with that because with where the rest of the Cosmere is at, I want to start with Mistborn and kind of go in from there. Now I understand there may be some spoiler things or things I may not understand, but I still really feel super compelled to pick this book up. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, so I'm just super excited to read this, and I can't believe I almost missed this. What a great first pick. Okay, pulling prompt number 2. This one says, a novella. Okay, that's a little tricky. I'm not sure I have a lot of novellas. Actually, hold on, let me see. Oh my gosh, I think I found another really good option, but I don't actually own the physical copy of it, and that's the second book of the Murderbot Diaries series. So this series is a sci-fi series of little mini novellas. So cute. And I did finish All Systems Red, which is the first book in this series last year, and I absolutely loved it. This little series is a sci-fi series that takes place in the future where robots are used for any and all kind of things, and the story is written from the perspective of one of these robots who's kind of hacked into his system and has some autonomy now. He's actually really funny, and he likes watching just like garbage TV shows and just loves to binge watch that. Will, you know, kind of have some like sarcasm and humor to him. So I really loved this book. I really loved his character. So I'll be picking up the second book in this series, which I believe is called like System Collapse or Total System Collapse. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can reference that, but that is the novella that I will be reading this month, since it is the second book and I did want to get back into this series at some point, so I think this is the perfect little prompt for this. Okay, so the last TBR prompt that we will pull, please be a good one, please be a good one. It is, ooh, okay, popular on social media. I like that. So obviously I think that's just like subjective to what I have seen on social media. So I do have some good options for that. And I think I'll probably pull a more like contemporary romance book, but let me see. Okay, so I did pull 2 contemporary romance books. The first option is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This one I've heard really great things about and I've definitely seen on social media. I think for a lot of people, this is one of their favorite Emily Henry works. The only other book that I've read by her is Happy Place, and that was a 5-star read for me. So I'm not sure if I want to pick up that book or instead if I want to pick up the other option, which is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Okay, so this book I've heard really great things about. I understand this is a heavier, kind of sadder feel, but people also rave about this and give this book 5 stars. So I'm not sure what kind of vibe I'm going, if I want something a little more happy or something a little bit maybe heavier but beautiful. I think I'll go with Beach Read because I already do have some heavier books in here. So just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, I'll throw myself a bone and stick with a more happier book. So Beach Read is the last book for this month. Okay, you guys, so here are all the books that I will be reading in the month of March. I'm so freaking excited. So I can't wait and I'm just super excited. That was it for today's video. I can't wait to update you guys on how I'm feeling about them, how I like them. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.